Hey you guys, on a bit of a narrating frenzy actually, but I think the first thing you guys might notice about this game is the incredibly long time that it says it's going to take, and I'm just telling you, sit back, relax, and enjoy it. I would not be bringing you a game this long if it weren't as good as this game is going to be. So be excited for that. I am playing Terrakion, Bouffalant, Mewtwo, Terrakion EX. Terrakion EX really being the main part of the deck, and probably the part I should have mentioned first. I actually don't think I have the regular Terrakion in the list at this point in time, but I win the flip and lead with Terrakion. I actually go bold and bench a Mewtwo just to maximize my Bianca draw, and I'm actually going to pass here. Really close to having the turn 2 KO on that Thundurus, which would be really nice, or that Dynamo now that it's shown up. And my opponent's just going to play an Ultra Ball and a Level Ball to get out some stuff. He actually grabs the Tornado Man, which I'm surprised the Tornado CX is hitting the field this early. Usually I see people going for Eels. And he is going to Catcher me out into my Mewtwo, which is actually great because that gives me another card to burn. And at this point in time, I'm running Super Scoop Up over Potion, which is another kind of interesting, neat little tech. I'm going to bench the Bouffalant, play the plus power because I'm just going for it. I'm going to Super Scoop Up the Mewtwo, promote a Bouffalant, bench the Mewtwo, burn the switch to get back the Terrakion EX in the active spot, play Bianca for 4, and look at that, I whiff on the energy. So that is kind of a kick in the pants. So I decide to burn a catcher and catcher out the Zekrom just because it doesn't really threaten me all that much. But missing energy attachments in this deck is really crucial. I feel like this whole game would have gone differently, honestly, had I not missed this attachment. It sounds a little melodramatic and all, but attachments are probably not missing your energy attachments is probably the most important part of playing this deck. I kid you not. And so now he's in a spot where he's going to get off the turn 2 Disaster Volt. So it went from being a good, potentially really good looking start for me to actually a bit of a bad one. So I'm going to play another plus power, just hoping I can get this fighting energy, and I do, thankfully. And I'm going to Rock Tumble and take a KO against this Thundurus due to weakness. So that's pretty nice. I do take the first prize, but I do have 80 damage on an EX Pokemon. Thankfully, I do run those Super Scoop Ups as we saw before. I also run energy switches, so hopefully I'll be able to manipulate my energy enough and keep myself out of hot water. He's gonna end me back and bring me down to 5, which I really don't mind. And I hit the energies, and that's really all I'm gonna care about. He's gonna evolve and get out in the electric. And the thing that makes me nervous here is if he has enough ways to actually get off the Power Blast this turn. He drops the DCE, and he's going to pass. And, that DCE did scare me quite a bit. I don't hit as many energy as I would have liked to, but I do hit a catcher, so I can pretty much take out whatever thing I want. I'm going to bring out the Eel just because it seemed like the thing to do at the time. I should have held off, though. I should have just taken out the Dynamo because that's just as important to knock out. And I could have also Ultra Balled there and tried to get out a another Terrakion EX, which might not have been a bad idea at the time. Putting an energy on that as opposed to Bouffalant's probably better for me in the long run, to be honest. I'm now kind of relying on the DCE. But I actually forgot to take a prize for my Eel, so there's that prize. Still not really helping me all that much. He's going to get out an Eel with an Ultra Ball. And then he's able to Juniper, which is great that he can just drop his hand to 0 and do that. And I'm really expecting the Power Blast. I refreshed because my side of the field was a little glitchy, but he does get off the energy, and there is the Power Blast KO. So I'm going to promote my Bouffalant, and I'm in an awkward situation where, I have a lot of stuff I don't really feel like Junipering. I actually Super Rod back up the 3 fighting energy instead of anything else, simply because I play 4 Terrakion EX, so pretty likely to hit those. And I actually play pretty aggressively, needing this DCE. I attach an Eviolite to my Bouffalant, which is going to be really effective. Bouffalant can take hits for days when he has an Eviolite. He's reducing damage by 40. And I'm going to Gold Breaker, and that's going to be 120 damage, so a lot of pressure on that Tornadus EX. And my opponent's got a pretty big hand here. An awkward little bit of glitching going on. But, you know, no matter what he does catcher shenanigans wise, I have the switch and super scoop up, so I can probably, you know, take his hits for a couple of turns here. I also have the catcher. The one thing I don't want to see is an N. He's going to play a random receiver here, and I don't want to see the N because aside from an energy, I have everything I need. The other thing I want to just point out real quick is that my supporter counts are actually phenomenally high in this deck. At this point in time, I think I'm running up to 14. So although it looks like I discard a lot of supporters, it's just because I have so many that, you know, I'm never going to really dead draw almost, unless I'm junipering just way too many things. So getting rid of 4 supporters in a turn was a little on the rough side, but not unheard of. So I do lose out on my catcher here, which is unfortunate. And he's going to be able to retreat and take advantage of my lack of catcher. I've played 2 already, which kind of frightens me a little. I only have 2 left. And he's going to bring out a Zekrom, which is definitely a good response. I don't really do much to Zekrom. I'm going to attach an Eviolite to my Terrakion. And I'm in a Gold Breaker. So putting 60 damage on him, I think he's really just using that as a wall. I'd like to hit the plus power for next turn, just to kind of drop that and, you know, knock out his Zekrom a turn earlier than he expects it. But he's getting out Eels now, which is starting to scare me. And he's going to switch out, and we'll see what he switches into. I'm surprised he didn't Dynamotor before that, so he has to take it back, and I decided to let him just because in pretty much all my testing, I always let my opponent take back whatever they're going to do because I want to be testing against the optimal plays. That's really, you know, if they make misplays, those are going to be easy to capitalize on. In tournaments, you know, that should be, you know, nothing difficult to get around. That should, you know, be the opposite of that. So I let him take it back. He's going to Dynamotor, get up this Raikou going, and he's going to be able to Volt Bolt me. We haven't seen him drop the Sky Arrow Bridge, which would help me a little bit, but really help him with the Dynamotor shenanigans. And he drops another Raikou as well, and he's going to Volt Bolt my active for 60 damage. So here my move is going to be, I'm just going to go straight in with the Gold Breaker. You know, I don't really mind giving up the 1 prize with Bouffalant, actually. It makes sense. It'll bring him to an odd number of prizes left, which is always a good thing in the EX formats where it's just like, you know, you can knock this EX out, but it's only going to be worth 1 prize. It really helps in pretty much everything. It really gives you an extra prize because otherwise they just have to knock out 3 EXs. So forcing him to knock out the extra Pokemon here, essentially. Except he does have snipe capacity, but he already did attack the Bouffalant, so we'll see where that goes. I probably would have gone for the Mewtwo EX in that situation just because, you know, you put more pressure on the board. At the same time, though, that is conceding the Raikou prizes. He's going to drop an Eviolite now, which is going to be a really key play that he gets that Eviolite. Simply because if he had gone for the other, or if he had not played the Eviolite and he used the other Raikou to Volt Bolt, I would have just been able to return KO with a pump-up smash and bring it down to my prize lead. So he's going to promote this Eviolited Raikou, and I believe he should Volt, yep, he's going to Volt Bolt to KO my active. So, you know, I did concede the prize there. I did give him that one, you know, not, or didn't really give it, but didn't put up a fight. I'm going to Charin for 3. And I hit some good stuff. I hit another Terrakion EX, which is going to be helpful. I am debating, however, whether I want to use it as my new attacker or my Bouffalant on the bench. I believe I decide to go for the Terrakion EX simply because, you know, there's some Raikous on the field and Raikous really don't like Terrakion EX. So I'm forced to unfortunately put 160 damage on the Raikou, which is just an ugly number, you know. 10 away from that KO. But, you know, that's how stuff goes sometimes. He's going to Eviolite the Tornadus EX, which is a good play. And he's actually going to Max Potion the Tornadus EX, just knowing that it's going to be really, really nasty for me to try and probably 3-shot with without any Yeah, with Terrakion EX it'd probably be a 3-shot because you're reducing 40 every turn, so I'm really doing 50. It'd be a 4-shot. Gross. So, I definitely need Bouffalant now. So it kind of makes me regret that decision. But, what are you going to do? And again, we're going to run into glitches with not all the energy on the field being displayed. So, oh, no. I guess he just attaches there. And we'll see. I think there's an energy that isn't being shown right now attached to it. He goes for the Power Blast. So I assume that's what it has to be. So I'm going to try and figure out what I want to do here. I'm going to go for the Super Scoop Up, successfully do that. That's definitely going to help. Just buying me an extra turn. I benched the Mewtwo even, and I now have a bunch of energy I'm going to be able to pump up Smash. So I can Rock Tumble for 30 because it's not affected by resistance. It is affected, however, by the Eviolite. Kind of sucks. But that'll put me in a situation where 3 pump up smashes will knock that thing out, doing 50 apiece. So it's better than not doing anything. He's going to just keep on dynamotoring, and this is really a match of him having so much better board control and me struggling to stay kind of with him. I do have the type advantage though, which is huge, and I do have quite a bit of damage on his field, 280 damage on between the 2 Raikos, which is, just a fantastic amount of damage. I'm forced to refresh again because everything's glitching, and he's actually just going to blow through here, which is only going to do 40 due to my Eviolite. So I'm going to attach, and I'm just going to start pump up smashing mainly to get energy on the field. I play the N, which I regret this play so much now because I had the energy, except for the fact that I just hit even a better hand. So he's asking me why I shuffled. I tell him that that's something you have to do. If you refresh, it puts your hand back to basically a set order. The N actually really did wonders for messing with his side of the field too. So I pump up smash, put 1 on Bouffalant, 1 on Terrakion EX, and now I know that next turn I can get the KO on that Tornadus with my Bouffalant and really surprise him if he keeps it active. So that'll be a really big shift in this game if I can pull it off. So he's down to a 4-card hand. I'm hoping he doesn't have a max potion, because that way, if he doesn't have the max potion, I'm taking a prize no matter what. And he's going to double Dynamotor. He puts 1 on the Zekrom, actually, which kind of surprises me. And he's going to Tool Scraper away my Eviolite, which doesn't make me feel good. But at the same time, I don't see him having any one-shots on the field right now. Zekrom EX is pretty much the only thing that Zeals runs that could one-shot me right now. I guess a Mewtwo could as well if he got a lot of energy on it. And he's going to Catcher out the Bouffalant, which is going to pretty much preserve me the switch. And it's kind of a weird play. If you're two-shotting Bouffalant, you're basically two-shotting just about anything. I don't really understand the why not go for the Mewtwo's or something like that. But I'm going to attach the DCE, and I'm just going to Gold Breaker him right back. So, I'm going to be able to KO this EX, and that's going to put me in a nice spot. So now I have taken the prize lead again, finally, which, wasn't easy. And I believe he can just go for the Outrage here. It's definitely a good play, Pretty much I'm just waiting on the top deck for a catcher. And I know that if I hit a catcher, I can win this game. But he's going to Max Potion. He's Eviolated Raikou, which is just going to give me more trouble. It's just another attacker that I can't KO. And I'm expecting him to attack with Zekrom this turn because it's only worth 1 prize, and he'll put me out odd prizes, which, as I've said, is always a good thing. So that's what he's going to do. I'm going to promote a Terrakion, knowing that it doesn't really matter what I promote. With a switch and an energy switch, I'm going to play the energy switch, and I believe what I'm going to do is just Rock Tumble. I could have attached the DCE to a Mewtwo, and I would have liked to have seen myself do that, except for the fact that I guess that would have put my Mewtwo at risk. So now that I've brought it down to 1 prize on my side, it's getting pretty tense here. He's going to promote the Raikou that he's able to retreat, the one he doesn't want to Volt Disaster Volt with. And I'm just expecting him to double Dynamotor to it. And I think he still is able to get these attachments off, which is, fantastic. I'm just, impressed every time he does it. Again, we have the glitching going on, so I'm not sure how many energy are on it. I'm just going to ask. Okay, so he's got 3 on that Raikou, which is pretty much what I thought it was. And, he's going to put me 1 shot away from a KO with either of my EXs. So basically I'm on a 1 turn clock. What is my top deck? And it happens to be a Pokemon catcher, so I'm just going to attach and catcher out pretty much anything for game. So that was a really good one, a really tense one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you rate, like, comment, subscribe, do your thing, and I will catch you guys later.